Well, good morning, everybody, and thank you for coming in today on a nice sunny day. My prediction for this winter, it will rain somehow. I have the easiest job. But I want to welcome everybody to the 18th annual meeting, and it's always a pleasure to host the event here at OMSI, and it's always a fun event, so we're always happy to have you guys here. And as Bobby mentioned earlier, that you'll have free admission to the museum afterwards, so come see me and I'll give you a hand stamp, and you can venture around the museum after this meeting. But I want to talk about some of the events that have happened since the last AMS meeting. As Bobby mentioned, we will not talk about this. It was an ongoing discussion, a positive discussion about 2012, but I am not looking forward to 2012 as an event in itself. Then, November of last year, we had the first image from the Hubble Space Telescope. Magnificent. Very well done repair job and what have you. And the OmniMax Theater is now featuring Hubble. That features a lot of the new images that to repair been made through the Hubble. And then we had the STS-129 mission launch in November 16th. And then we had the Ares 1 test back in October, which was designed to be the next vehicle that we would go to the moon and what have you. But at this point, it looks like it's on standby. It may be on standby forever. But it's part of the constellation mission. The launch itself was very successful, although they did have a problem with the parachute, but they learned from the mistakes. We had an annular eclipse on January 15th, which is not a totality, where the disk of the moon is smaller than the disk of the sun. Mars opposition on January 29th. We will not talk about this. And if any of you actually have a picture of this event, come see me after the meeting.
Wait, that happened.
Yeah.
That happened.
February 8th, we had the other shuttle mission that went up with the new Tranquility module. Then we have Jupiter. And Jupiter lost a stripe. So for some reason, when we look at Jupiter, we see a missing stripe, and the astronomers are not quite sure why it happened. But it's not part of the weather discussion for today. And then we have the STS-131, and we had two locals that came in and did a talk at OMSI. We had Jim Dutton, he's a local from Eugene. And then we had Dottie Metcalf that also came into OMSI, did a talk after their mission, and it was tremendously successful. And then the final launch of Atlantis on May 14th, and we got two more coming up, which I will talk about. And this is the one that I was able to attend and watch the launch myself in person. Wonderful. Partial lunar eclipse on June 26th, very early in the morning. Some of you were able to go out and watch this. Pretty much, this is what we saw. Lots of clouds, and the moon was breaking through the cloud layers. Total solar eclipse in July. And then we had an impact on Jupiter, July 19th, which happened to turn out to be an asteroid. Then on August 3rd, we had an opportunity to see the Northern Lights here in the Pacific Northwest. Didn't quite make it. We had viewing in Wisconsin and Michigan, but we had a chance to watch it in August. There were some indication that some people were able to see it from the Pacific Northwest using the camera, but visually wasn't all there. But there will be many opportunities in the next couple of years of seeing the auroras here in the Pacific Northwest. First meteor shower, pretty good show this year. We had a new moon, a moderate shower, good activity. The OMSI Star Party was held at Stubb Stewart and at Rooster Rock State Park that night. We had 2,000 people at each location for the viewing. 2,000. It felt like a rock concert. It really did. And every time there was a meteor, people cheered. And at one point, everybody had red gel flashlight. We did this motion. Got to keep them entertained. Okay, so what's going to happen now? Next year, we have coming up on October 17th, where the New Horizon is on its way to Pluto. Will meet its halfway point to Pluto, and we'll reach Pluto in 2015. We'll get our first picture close up of the planet Pluto. Then we have Hartley 2 now approaching the Earth. The closest approach will occur later this week, October 20th, 11 million miles away from the Earth. The fuzzy law object, the nucleus itself is only about a mile in diameter, not very bright, but it can be seen. And some of you got my email yesterday regarding that event, and there are a lot of public that are interested in seeing it. It's pretty fuzzy and small. And then on November 1st, we have the final launch of Space Shuttle Discovery, and on board, the local, Mike Barrett from Cambridge, Washington, will be on board, and we'll be actually being in touch with Mike during the mission here at OMSI, and hopefully we'll be able to get a phone call with them during that mission. And we'll be showing the launch here, by the way, on November 1st, here at OMSI, showing the launch live. Then we have a total lunar eclipse on December 20th, the winter solstice. How appropriate is that? And the totality will mainly start about 11:40. Greatest eclipse will be about 12:16 a.m. and then will end at about roughly 1 a.m. on the 21st of December. There are going to be a lot of people, public, they're going to be confused thinking the eclipse is on the 21st. Not the night of the 21st, the morning of the 21st. So there can, people are going to be confused with that, but the cool thing is, will be just about the constellation of Orion. So it will be spectacular. And we will be doing the viewing here at OMSI on the front lot for public viewing with devoted to the astronomers. And then, this is just another map. So it's not quite centered. Okay, just above center, but it's going to be within the shadow of the Earth. And half of the world will be able to see it. We're in a prime location in the Pacific time zone, meaning that at midnight it's going to be at its highest point. So we're in a prime spot for viewing. For 2011, for the first time in a long time, there's no total or annular eclipse, none. But there will be 4 partial solar eclipse for 2011, most of them occurring far down south. There will be one on June 1st that is going to be north of us. There's probably going to be some phone calls saying, can we see this eclipse from Portland? The answer is no. There will be 4 partial for 2011. And then the final space shuttle launch will occur on February 27th. The final launch of the shuttle. There might be another one after that with the Space Shuttle Atlantis, if necessary. And a total lunar eclipse on June 15th, but it will not be visible from the Pacific Northwest. And this one goes right through the dead center, which would be spectacular, meaning that the moon will get deep red when it gets toward the center of the Earth's shadow. Juno launch on August 5th. This is a mission where they're going to send a probe to the planet Jupiter, and we'll reach Jupiter on 2016. First meteor shower next year. Nancy moon, big moon, but we should have a good show of the meteors again next summer. And then we have the Mars Curiosity rover launch occurring sometime in the fall of 2011. Give you an idea how big this rover is. It's about the size of a Mini Cooper. It's going to be a beast. Here's a Mini Cooper right here. And then we have the Surveyor, the Pathfinder that is, right here. You can literally put the Pathfinder on top of the Curiosity. And so this thing is going to be huge. And then we have a total lunar eclipse on December 10th. It will be visible, but the moon will be setting at the time for us, meaning that the eclipse will be underway, but the moon will be setting, and it'll be tough to see with the twilight, with the sun rising and the moon setting. And we have, here at OMSI, when I mentioned that we have an exhibit called Identity. It's now up on the upper floor of the museum for you to go check it out. And then later in November, we have an exhibit called Design Zone, which should be fun. And then in the planetarium, we're featuring numerous shows. That your hand sample also gets you into a planetarium show for today. And our main attraction is Journey to the Stars. And then in the Omni-Mac, we're featuring the films of Alaska, Dinosaurs, Deep Sea, and Hubble. Hubble is spectacular. If you've not seen Hubble telescope IMAX show, you should check it out. Then we have Science on a Sphere up on the second floor. And this is a new system that we just got last year. Okay, enjoy your meeting.
All right, I love coming to OMSI and seeing what they have going on. It's one of the fun parts of the day. All right, first presenter up. He is a warning coordinating meteorologist for the National Weather Service. And oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. Mark Nelsen. He's the first one up. He's recapping what happened last year. Please forgive me, I jumped ahead. I'm so eager to get, let everybody know how much snow's going to fall this year.
Forward looking.